Hey there, students. In this video, we are going to overview how you handle negative exponents when you are simplifying expressions with exponents. So I'm going to look at these examples since they include numbers only in the calculator, and then we'll do a few examples that have variables with negative exponents. So if I wanted to simplify 5 to the negative first power divided by 2 to the negative first power, well, I can evaluate that in my calculator. So let's go to add a calculator and we'll do control divide and take 5 to the negative first power. And that is divided by 2 to the negative first power. And we can see that the answer is 2/5. So I'll go back to my problem. And this is now 2/5. And although we don't see it, this is 2 to the positive first power, and now this is 5 to the positive first power. And I'm going to explain what's happening at the very end after we do all three. So look at the second one is 7 to the negative second power divided by 6 to the negative second power. So let's go back over here and let's do control divide again. And that was 7 to the negative second power divided by 6 to the negative second power. So 6 to the negative second power. Now that answer is going to not be quite like the first one because it's to the second power, so we're squaring the numbers, but still we can get the end result that I want you to see. So this is equal to 36 divided by 49, which is the same as 6 times 6 divided by 7 times 7, which is also the same as 6 to the second power over 7 to the second power. And again, I bet you probably realize what's happening now, but I'm going to explain after this one. So let's do the last example with just numbers, and then I'll explain it, and then we'll talk about the variables. So my last example that has just numbers only was 4 to the second power, negative second power. So that if that's what I want to input into the calculator, 4 to the negative second power, and that is being divided by 3 to the negative third power. And my answer is 27/16. So if I go back to my problem here, that's going to equal 27 divided by 16. Well, I know 27 is the same as 3 times 3 times 3, and 16 is the same as 4 times 4. Now if I put that together as a base to a power, then that's 3 cubed, and that's 4 squared. So if we notice here in the first example, 5 to the negative first power and 2 to the negative first power, simply the 2 and the 5 just exchanged places. It was in the numerator, though this was the last one, and the function is if in the numerator. Now, it is easier for us to see this when we have just numbers only because we can't enter the variables in the calculator. And so, which is why I wanted to show you the numbers only first. So if I go back to if I look at a problem that has variables now, since I can't enter this in the calculator, well, I have to know that this x to the negative second power, well, it's just going to move down here as x squared. And then this x to the fifth power is going to move to the numerator as x to the fifth power. And then when I expand this out, this is 5 x's. This is 2 x's. And then we can eliminate 2 of the x's. And my answer is just x cubed. And there's nothing left in the denominator. So I could say over 1 or just x cubed. Now with this, and so we see with this second one that if I were to rewrite this with only positive exponents, the x to the negative 6 power, well, that's going to move down to the denominator for the exponent to become positive. And the x to the negative 4 power is going to move up to the numerator. and then we can expand it out and simplify it like we've done before. Before we can actually expand it out, we have to make sure the exponents are positive, because you're not going to be able to write x negative 6 times. It's not possible, which is why we have to change the location. So we can reduce, or we can eliminate 4 of the x's, and we have x squared left over. So in my answer, that will be 1 divided by x squared, which will be equivalent to this answer here. And so this is negative exponents. This is just like a little preview. We'll do more problems, more complicated problems later on, but I wanted to at least show you this because you have like an extra credit question in your quiz today that this will help you answer that question successfully.